Hey everyone, welcome back to Agent John's Crime Files. I'm John Shakhnovsky, retired FBI agent. So in the last couple of months, since this channel started, I've been getting some requests from people to have a basic video about how is the FBI overseas. John, we watch your videos. Some of you read the book. Hopefully more of you read the book, Beyond the Badge, that I wrote. But a lot of people still don't understand how the FBI is overseas. They think that CIA is overseas, and how is the FBI overseas? Hollywood does not do us many favors. You watch lots of movies about FBI agents overseas, and it's always a group of rogue agents who are coming out of some dark van and they're making arrests of random individuals, foreign nationals, not just US citizens, they're arresting foreign nationals. They're tossing them in the van, bringing them down to jail, and without any courtroom or anything, they put them on a plane and bring them back to America for some type of crime they committed overseas or in the US. My goal is not to ruin good action movies, but I can tell you that's 100% fiction. That is not how things work overseas. So I want to do an explainer video today, real brief explainer video, so you understand now when you watch movies and TV shows and you hear about stories overseas about actual cases happening, you can know what's happening, why the FBI is overseas, how we're overseas. Recent news has seen some cases where the FBI has been overseas in Venezuela, other places. So it'd be good to have a discussion about this. You're thousands of miles away from home. How do you work overseas? I'll begin with the absolute golden rule of working overseas, and that's jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is everything. The moment an FBI agent, special agent, steps off a plane in a foreign country, their law enforcement authority drops to exactly zero. Zero, zero, zero. You cannot carry a badge to flash at local citizens. You have no power. You cannot make arrests overseas by yourself. And some countries you can carry a firearm, but in most countries you're not allowed to carry a firearm. There are some exceptions to that rule, but not many. So why is that? Why can't we do that? Why can't you go overseas? You're an FBI agent. Why does it stop there? And that's because of something called sovereignty. And every nation has total control over its own borders and its own laws. Think about it. If a foreign police officer got on a plane and showed up in Chicago or LA or New York and tried to arrest an American citizen, first of all, people would think it's crazy. You would never listen to the foreign police officer. Why? Because you just wouldn't. It would cause a massive international diplomatic incident and it'd be a huge issue. So it's the same thing overseas. I can't just, the same way a foreign police officer can't arrest a US citizen in New York City is why I can't go kick down a door and make an arrest in a foreign country. A lot of this today, I'll use my example of where I am in Thailand, where I was an FBI agent here, but it could be anywhere in the world. So we work out of US embassies, and consulates overseas, work under the authority of the Department of State and a local American ambassador. That's where our authority is to be overseas. We are not just called special agents, we're called legal attachés or legats for short, but make no mistake, you're still a special agent, it's just a different title. The legat program is the backbone of the FBI's overseas footprint. Right now, there's about 90 offices, sub-offices overseas in 180 different countries. So what that means, for example, I was in Thailand, I covered Myanmar and Laos, so I was in one office, but I covered 3 countries. That's how you have 90 offices covering 180 countries. The core job of what I do overseas is one word, liaison. As an independent expert and analyst looking at how these operations function, I can tell you that the legat superpower is not his gun, it's not his badge. When you're overseas, it is your Rolodex. It is your list of phone numbers, your list of contacts. My goal, my job was to build a cadre of trusted face-to-face people I can meet, law enforcement officers, security personnel of the host country. My job is to meet them and have them and to utilize them to solve crimes overseas. Think about it. Crime nowadays is transnational. A hacker in Eastern Europe attacks a hospital in Texas. You'd have examples of a drug cartel based in South America coordinating a shipment through an Asian hub somewhere. There's tons of examples I can give you. When you have an office in the US, in Miami or Boston or New York or LA, and they need to track something down, we call it a lead overseas. They want to track down a lead overseas. They don't just hop on a plane and fly to their foreign country and start knocking on doors. They send a request, what we call an investigative lead, to the legat office in that jurisdiction, be it here in Thailand or somewhere else. Then my job as a legal attaché is to walk over to my counterpart, my police or intelligence partner at the police force, at the police agency or the intelligence agency, go to their office and say, hey, we have a mutual problem. And I ask them what I'm looking for. This is what I need to happen. And I said, can you help me do this under your local laws? My job is to know the local laws, to know what I can and can't do, and to ask them for assistance. Now remember, this is a two-way street. If the foreign police agency has a request in the US, they're going to ask me the same way for that assistance. And I will contact an FBI agent in America, in whatever city it's in, and ask them for the same assistance for the Thai police. It's reciprocity. It's called reciprocity. It's mutual respect overseas. Now, while there are as I said before, there are strict boundaries. You can't make arrests, you can't carry a gun, you can't kick in a door on a search warrant, all of those things. Understand that many countries, to include Thailand, do allow for a little bit of leeway on that. So there is some, in countries where there's lots of trust and lots of cooperation, for example, Thailand, they will actually allow some foreign police officers, and I will give you some examples that I've done, but some foreign police officers to be more hands-on. So maybe during a major operation, arrest warrant, a search warrant, we'll kind of have a task force model where FBI personnel will go side by side with the Royal Thai Police. They'll either be embedded with them in their office or just on the day of the operation, we'll be there, maybe for a high stakes raid, a cyber scam center takedown, or any kind of search warrant or arrest. Now, remember, the restrictions are still in place. They are ironclad. The host country's police are always the lead agency, always. They're going to be the ones to be first to the door on a search warrant. They're going to be the ones to put handcuffs on, make physical arrests. They're going to put the physical hands on people to make the arrests under their local laws. But having one of us, having a foreign police officer in the room for the arrest, analyzing evidence, maybe identifying victims, identifying witnesses there, it's really important. And as the raid unfolds, having us there could be a massive game changer for shutting down these global syndicates to make these arrests and shutting down these criminals. So what's next? So the next question is, how did this program even happen? Now I know you're overseas, John, but how did you first go overseas? Why did the FBI first go overseas? What happened? This is a long time ago. In the 1940s, during World War II, the U.S. government under President Franklin Delano Roosevelt decided that there wasn't enough intelligence coming in on the Axis countries, the Axis countries being Japan, Germany, Italy, and a few others. But we didn't have enough intelligence, and the intelligence was definitely lacking in the Western Hemisphere. Back in the early 40s, there was no CIA yet. So what President FDR said was, I'm going to divide the globe up, and I'm going to have different agencies be in charge of different parts of the world. What he did was he gave the FBI the job of intelligence and counterintelligence in Latin America. So by 1942, we had the very first official legal attaché offices overseas. I'll tell you now, the main ones were Bogota, Colombia, Ottawa in Canada, and London in the UK. After the war was over, and the CIA was formed in 1947, they took over foreign intelligence, what the FBI was doing overseas. But the FBI thought about it and thought, okay, look, this is working for us. We have FBI agents overseas. We have the approval to be overseas. Let's keep them overseas and do more traditional law enforcement coordination and build up relationships if need be. So back then, there wasn't that many crimes happening, but we kept building and building. 1990s, internet exploded, travel became seamless, and organized crime went global. So the Bureau really had an expansion in the 1990s. From the 40s to the 90s, we were growing slowly. But 1990s, we took off. Many more offices being built, many more offices growing, and more agents going to go overseas. We did not want to only investigate within the borders and be playing catch up overseas. So in that time, the 90s and early 2000s, it doubled the number of offices we had overseas. Then 9/11 hit. After 9/11, with terrorism and cybercrime growing, we grew even more to where we are today with 180 countries and over 90 offices. So what does the day-to-day look like for an FBI agent overseas? I gave you some examples of things that we do, but what does it look like? So in the morning, I could spend briefing the U.S. ambassador on a case, on a joint human trafficking investigation that I was working. Come midday, I can go meet foreign prosecutors and foreign police officers, and we can be discussing a whole high-profile fugitive extradition. And then come the evening, I could be hosting a training session for local police. Training is a huge part of what we do overseas. The goal of the FBI is to, as best as we can, have foreign police agencies working their cases in a similar way we work cases. Now, why is that? Well, it'd be great for us if I knew that a foreign police officer did an investigation, be it evidence collection, be it interview techniques, be it arrest techniques, anything. If it's the same way or similar to how we do it, following local laws, following local cultural differences, but if they do the investigation the same way we do it, it assists us for court purposes, for prosecution, for evidence collection. And when I go back to the U.S. if it's prosecution in the U.S., we can tell the judge and the jury that the foreign police did it the same way we would do it. So it's important to understand the complex international laws, but if we can, and the cultural nuances, as I said, but it'd be a lot better if we can do these things seamlessly. So that should hopefully cover how we got here, why we're here, and what we do. So now the next time you watch a movie where the FBI is overseas running around some foreign capital, creating what normally is just chaos, you can smile, knowing the truth. The real work is built on handshakes, trust, and global cooperation. It's not kicking in doors, not making arrests by ourselves, and not going rogue. So it's us behind the scenes with liaison and working our jurisdiction. So I hope this gives you a clear picture of how the international side of the house operates. Hopefully this was educational, and now you know what we do overseas. So please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Agent John's Crime Files, turn on notifications for the next video, which will come out in a couple of weeks. And thank you so much for watching. I hope this channel continues to grow, and I'll see you next time.